Welcome back to Granja Camito, where we have some very vocal cows and bulls. As the rain started very late, we have to keep them here in CT1, our sacrifice paddock, because we cannot yet go out for grazing. The green grass is growing, but it's growing slow because we have lack of water and low temperatures. The lack of water is evident right next door. This is where we tried to seed and establish Crotalaria huncea, the sun hemp, in summer, and it did not work. And see, the natural growth also does not work. Yesterday we had a lot of rain that I mentioned in the community posts, and that made these boys start digging. And the way they dig is quite impressive. So here, for example, you can see a real hole. A whole pig head can disappear in there. Unfortunately, because I came back with the car, they have lined up here thinking that I might provide food. But that happened already. And they are searching for something in there. Maybe if I move around, they will start digging some more in these places. So you can see here actual holes. And before I went to fetch the camera, I saw one dig really deep. So there where my shadow just passed. This is also looking good. So the one that is really deep is this one here. So this is basically a hole where a whole pig can disappear halfway. So this is quite interesting. So it might be, see there, it continues. So let me show you that first. So it might be that after all we will be able to seed here in this area. And the last time we had pigs here in this corner, let me give you an overview. So it goes from there to over there, and then a little bit down, that corner. They were also digging here. So there must be something in the soil that they are interested in. So makes me think that was the seed that we have. And now that the ground is loose, we can probably just come in, throw the seed in here, use a rake to cover it, and then exclude this area with an electric fence. An electric sheep net, basically, by doing that. So that this area is then excluded and they can dig elsewhere. Oh, that might work. And if they come in again, well, the harm is probably very limited. Depends a little bit on the size of the seed. But that is something that we are going to talk about tomorrow. Another detail here, we have this strip, or these few strips of vetiver, and we decided to simulate a cow. So we cut it and left it on the ground for mulch, so that it feeds the soil. Now that we have no animals here in this area. So it's this strip here around the oak tree, where the pigs are to the left. This area got excluded because of the vetiver, and it makes also the fence line a bit straighter. And the idea is to put some more trees in here. We are thinking about palovnias, so that we have more biomass through the leaves. And later on, when the palovnias are a little bit taller, and there's half shade. It helps with this harsh Andalusian sun. Then we can add some more trees of different species. Some may say the other way around, but I want to increase the biomass first. That is why I prefer in this area to put the palovnias in the beginning. And we can even cut a few if we see that it's too much. And then we also have a lot of biomass, because we can put them through a wood chipper and have a lot of wood chips, now homemade. And as I mentioned, the rain yesterday, so we do have standing water, but it is always in those areas where the soil is heavily compacted, like this spot here, which used to be the road. And in all the other places, all that rain already soaked in. So I can't really show you a full swale or something like that. But in a couple of days, so the beginning of next week, a lot of days are forecasted to be rainy. So there will be more, and then maybe we can see some full swales. But on the other hand, the swale is not supposed to be full. The rain should infiltrate and be in the ground. Of course, it will be full if the ground is saturated. And then it's basically the remainder of the rain to fill up the underground reservoir. But then if you have soil that is mostly sand, like we have in our zone C, and not like we have here, this is a lot greener, then of course it will run away. So we need to change the amount of biomass that we have in our ground, and that is why this technique is important. So over time, up there in zone C, this will then get a similar look like this one here. So what we need to do is plant, plant, plant and seed. And that is what's going to happen. But of course, it will not yield huge results in the first year. But this is what we have decided to do. So this is the beginning of this process here. The growth is slow because there was not enough rain and the sun was there, and sun without rain is no good. But to us, this growth is not enough, so we are keeping our cows away from this. But everybody else around has the sheep and cows out to take advantage of what is growing. It's all based on tradition. So by that and that date on the calendar, the sheep go out, or the other ruminants, and the rain will come and everything will go as planned. Since a couple hundred of years or so. I'm not trying to criticize that, but it is a little bit strange, because I would make decisions based on what I see, and what I see is that. And to us, this is not enough, because the plants have to express themselves, and it does not work if an animal comes too early and starts eating the grass before it has grown a little bit and made roots. So this does look very nice, but it's only the beginning. So this can be a lot taller. So we have to wait a little bit, depending on the rain and the sun, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then we can finally start grazing. And unfortunately, our neighbor will not enjoy this, because his animals are impeding that growth, because they eat whatever is high enough. So there you see how it looks like. So this is already extremely short, and the same way all the other places also look like. It's a little bit a shame, in my opinion. So here you have the comparison. I wish it were different. Our place is getting greener and greener by the day, and depending on the structure of the soil, the amount of biomass in there, it is advancing more rapidly than in the places where we still have sand and nothing else, not even nutrients. But that is what we are working on. And apparently it is working. So this is an encouragement. But we need to add a lot more plants that won't come by themselves. So that means a lot more trees and a lot more shrubs and a lot more of everything, so that eventually this will be lush. So that is what is left from yesterday. The ground here is saturated because there's also the well right there, and that is why it is still there. In all the other places that I quickly checked out, it is already gone in the ground where it belongs. So I won't film that. There is another opportunity to show you these other places. And of course, up there in Zone C, progress is extremely slow because of the high sand content. So I will probably use the weekend and go there. Today is Thursday, tomorrow I have an appointment and I have to drive a little bit, so I have no opportunity to go there and film, but over the weekend I should be able to do this. And next week, starting Monday, the following days supposedly are full of rain. So maybe that is then the rain that we are supposed to receive in autumn.